up, Rapport family? We are back with another great edition of Building Rapport. Joining me today, I have a special guest. It's a little bit of a different segment we're doing, but joining me is Executive Director of OnToVictory, Brett Whiteside, here to talk about the beginnings of OnToVictory and tell us a little bit about how fans can support OnToVictory. Brett, thanks for joining me, man.
Yeah, absolutely, Mike. Thanks for having me. Excited to talk a little bit about OnToVictory and name, image, and likeness, and how we're here to support our great student athletes at Auburn.
Brett, let's jump right in here. OnToVictory is Auburn's primary collective, but how did OnToVictory come to be? There was a previous collective, and I think it kind of morphed into what you guys are doing now. Tell us how OnToVictory came to be.
Yeah, absolutely. So if you go back to July of 2021, name, image, and likeness becomes permissible, and everybody tries to figure out how are we going to support Auburn with that. Auburn was blessed to have Rick Davidson jump in as a former baseball player, he's a practicing attorney here in Auburn, who said, "Hey, I'll give this a shot." Nobody else was willing to pioneer it. He jumped in and did it. As it transitioned through the fall into the spring, I think everyone recognized this is a big undertaking. This is not something that somebody can do part-time while they're running a law practice. So OnToVictory was formed and set up as an LLC entity where it has 7 owners or directors who said, look, we'll start this, we'll take it, we'll run with it, we will give our time and energy. So when they formed the entity, they said, number one, they'll never benefit financially. They'll never be able to be compensated for their time. There's no financial gain in it for them. It is purely for their love of Auburn. And as I understand it, there were a lot of meetings that were held during that time in the spring of 22, and a lot of people were showing interest. And it started with a group of 50, and then it went to a group of 25, and ultimately it ended with these seven guys who still had an interest in trying to pursue name, image, and likeness. So that was the first pillar that they built the collective on. Next they said, hey, we're going to build a model that people can feel good about where their money's going. They know that the board's not going to receive compensation, but moreover, at least 90% of all of our donations go directly to the student athletes. So, the math there says no more than 10% can go towards operations costs. Oh, wow. And so that requires us to be a very lean operating organization. So there's not a whole lot of, frills in what we're doing. I mean, it's truly everything we do is just to support the athletes. So our overhead pays for our staff. It pays for our building that we have here, what we're doing with our marketing and our services that we're providing to our members. But really that's about it. And then lastly, they wanted to form a collective that was really just as pure as it could be, that has great alignment with the university. I think that's the key to this. There's a lot of other schools who have multiple collectives and you're not really sure which one to support, but we're blessed at Auburn that this is the collective for Auburn. We're an official partner of the university. All of our members of our board of trustees have participated. Our president's been great and supportive. Our athletics director and administration and coaches, up to the level that they're allowed by rule or law, but they've been extremely supportive in allowing us to engage with fans and with our student athletes.
Brett, we've talked on the record and off the record with Auburn's former director of compliance, Rich McGlynn, about the, kind of the iterations of name, image, and likeness. In the beginning, people weren't sure what was allowed, actually. It seemed like, but Auburn took a very careful approach to name, image, and likeness. How is OnToVictory working with Auburn and compliance to stay within the spirit of what name, image, and likeness is supposed to be?
Yeah, I think Auburn, through OnToVictory and through the university, was very wise in not being overreactionary to this new name, image, and likeness piece of college athletics. We've made very sound decisions in the ways that we're going to support. We have been very thoughtful in the deals that we're offering and our process of placing valuations and the ways in which we'll support Auburn student athletes. We've done deals with over 300 student athletes from 13 sports, 9 of which were full team deals. And so, we set it up again in a way that, maybe it took a little bit more time, but I think that by laying the foundation, we're in a lot better position now than we could have been if we just tried to have a knee-jerk reaction and jump in and try to do some things that turned out would have been impermissible.
Brett, how did you come to be with OnToVictory? You're a football guy, right?
Like, yeah, I've got the championship rings here beside me. It motivates me every day to be a part of something that still impacts championships. But yeah, I grew up in this profession. I worked in the recruiting office as a student, and was blessed to be a part of football staff here under Coach Tuberville as a student, and then Coach Chiswick, and then Coach Malzahn. And then I went to the University of Missouri, was on the football staff there when name, image, and likeness started. And so was really able to see from a coach's perspective how name, image, and likeness makes such an impact. You know, it's a part of the recruitment process, whether we like it or not. It's a part of the retention process, whether we like it or not. And so I really enjoy being on this side of it, knowing that I'm helping our programs and our university in a unique way.
That's cool. It's cool to hear that we're both Tuberville guys. I was at Auburn during the Tuberville era, holding the camera there every day for Caddy and Jason and those guys.
Yeah.
Let's talk about funding, right? You talked about how lean you guys run, saying, you know, no more than 10%, right, is going to the operation of OnToVictory. But you know, what is it like funding OnToVictory? You know, you guys have some donors, obviously, but you also have a subscription model where fans can give. Let's talk about the funding for a second.
So I think the one thing that we decided, you know, under the leadership of our board initially was we've got to do a major gifts campaign. Yep. We have got to make an impact in name, image, and likeness immediately. And so major gifts campaign allowed us to be able to offer Auburn student athletes at a really high level immediately. The way that we've seen over the last 16 months that this is going to be able to continue to grow and thrive and be able to increase our participation is going to come through everyone. You know, this is not something that just our large donors can do. This is not something that just, you know, all fans can do. It's going to take all of us to do it. We've recently had a donor step up and be willing to do $1 million match.
Wow.
If we can get, you know, an additional 3,500 more fans involved, we have different levels. So for every 1,000 people that we add, there will be a $250,000 match up to $1 million. And so, you know, we're using the phrase right now, every Auburn fan has an opportunity to be $1 million game changer. And, you know, you can double the impact that you can have. Our goal is to try to get this done by December 20th, football signing day. It's just an example of how, you know, we're reaching a time when we know that we've really got to start supporting at a higher level as we're trying to improve really in all of our sports.
Wow. So you've got a donor willing to donate $1 million match for fans who sign up for this recurring subscription to OnToVictory. So the goal here is to get 4,000 people. Is that math right? To sign up?
Yeah. Let's do. Right now we've got about 1,600 people participating with us right now. And so we're trying to hit 5,000. We know that there are other places within our conference who are exceeding 5,000 members. Auburn has over 250,000 living alumni with over 1 million fans across the country. And so we're trying to encourage folks to jump in, be a part of this. We understand, you know, you're being pulled in different directions, being asked to participate in different things. But if you're able to participate financially in what we're doing, you know, it's something that's really making a difference. It's being done the right way by Auburn people for Auburn student athletes. We are providing some unique opportunities and benefits. So we've just launched a new platform. I think this is really unique in that you can receive card-linked perks and rewards and benefits back. We have over 18,000 national brands participating. So, for example, you can go to Starbucks, CVS, Walmart, Home Depot, Delta, and receive cash back for all of your purchases. You can do that here locally. Mama Goldberg's. You can go here and get 10% cash back for all your purchases made at Mama Goldberg's. So this could end up becoming a cost neutral for a lot of folks to be able to make the purchases they already be making, but knowing that a portion's coming to OnToVictory. So just trying to provide those types of perks and benefits. War Eagle Plus, if you're unfamiliar with that,
I've seen it.
Is a really cool new content platform that OnToVictory has partnered. You can join the OnToVictory bundle for as little as $15 a month, or you can join at $34 a month and get all of the benefits, including War Eagle Plus. So just trying to provide a lot of value to our supporters and let them know that they can engage with our student athletes in a lot of different ways.
Brett, let's talk about a very real aspect of NIL, right? Auburn has an amazing collective, obviously, but some of the other schools in the conference do. You talked about the $1 million match. Is there a number that fans should have in mind that you would say, hey, if we can raise X amount of money, we can be the best NIL collective in the conference?
There's not a lot of transparent reporting. You don't really know what other collectives are doing. I think it's just about us trying to support at the highest level we can. And we're lucky to be at a great place to where, you may not have to provide the highest valued opportunity for someone to still want to come to Auburn. People, student athletes, prospective student athletes, they still want to come to Auburn for all the same reasons they used to before NIL. Auburn is one of the few places that can win a championship in every single one of our sports. It's a place where you're going to get a great education. I understand there were over 50,000 applicants for this last freshman class. It's a place that a lot of people want to be. You're going to get a great job. You're going to have an opportunity to perform your sport at the next level here. So there's a lot of great things going on at Auburn. And if we can just come close with the opportunities that we provide through name, image, and likeness, I think kids are going to continue to want to choose Auburn.
Brett, let me close by telling everybody how they can get involved with OnToVictory. It looks like you can be a supporter for as little as $17 a month.
That's right. Yeah, OnToVictory.com. You can go in there. You can see the different ways that you can support. If you want to go through our membership platform, as you mentioned, $17 a month. You can see the perks and benefits that you get at every level as it increases. And then there's another tab on our website says other ways to give. You can go in. You can choose as little or as much as you would want to choose one time or recurring. And you can choose multiple sports or one sport that you would want to donate towards. And you can know that if it's earmarked for that sport, that's how we'll allocate it. Oh, wow. And so just providing a lot of different opportunities for folks. And we're just asking everybody to try to get involved if you can some way.
Brett, I really appreciate your time coming on to talk to our listeners about OnToVictory and how they can support their favorite university, the only university that matters, Auburn University.
That's right.
So go to OnToVictory.com, hit that membership button, and see the many ways that you can support OnToVictory and in turn support Auburn student athletes in their quest to be the best student athletes they can be. Brett, thank you for joining me today. Guys, that's it for another great edition of Building Rapport with our guy, Brett Whiteside, Executive Director of OnToVictory. If you want more content like this, please hit like and subscribe. We are the War Rapport on every social media platform, TW Rapport on TikTok. We're signing off, and as always, War Eagle.
War Eagle.